So the bear market is cancelled. It's over. It's at the end. We have a pivot. And before I explain to you why my statement is so specific, why I allow myself to say something like this, which is always, yeah, it's a bit risky. Let me just tell you that I want to congratulate every one of you. And I want to thank you for being here, for sticking with me in this last 2 years, which was mostly downtrend, mostly bad price action, mostly pain, and mostly red candles. However, things are about to change. Things are about to pivot. Things are about to go up. And let me say, it is time. Because every pain has its end and every downtrend has its pivot. And it seems that for Bitcoin, for the crypto market, this might be, or this is, the pivot of the trend. So today in the morning I woke up and I saw Scott Melker's The Wolf of All Streets tweet. The bear market is officially over. Bitcoin made its first higher high, 25,200, since the all-time high. That confirms a new bullish trend. Price can still go down, but that would be a new trend, not a continuation of the previous bear market. Congrats everyone. Yes, that is the most important part. Congrats everyone. So let's just go into the chart. Let's check what is happening. Let's see if the charts tell us the same thing, and let's see if we can draw the same conclusion, because it is very important to check, right? Don't believe, check and prove to draw any conclusions in order to make good investments. Now, as you can see, this is the daily charts, and it's a big one. It's a big one. And I will drag this here. This is a big one because it is coming from the 70,000, almost 70,000 from the all-time high down to the FTX crash. Now, I will tell you something very interesting about the bull market, about this flash crash, just after I make my case here, because there is something which we did expect at the beginning of the bear market, which is happening right now, and we only have one anomaly. So first of all, as you can see here on the daily, we have this falling wedge, which is a bullish signal if Bitcoin breaks out. And just remember, charts, they are not something artificial. Charts represent the traders, the investors, the sentiment, and investment behaviors. That is why I think charts are great, and we can follow them to a certain point. Now, as I said, falling wedge, bullish signal, pretty big one. It was coming from November 2021, which is almost 2 years ago, 1.5. And now we broke out. You can see that it was a beautiful breakout. It was a beautiful confirmation right here. And now we are back at 27,440, which means that we broke some very important, crucial resistances. Okay, we broke the 25,000, which is obviously a psychological resistance. We spent some time there, but at the second try, we broke through. And that 25,000 resistance breakthrough was the sign of the pivot of the trend. Now, the reason I'm saying pivot of the trend is because that is what we can see here. As you can see, if we just check, we have all-time high, lower low, rejection, lower low, rejection at the 21 moving average, flash crash, some struggle, crash again, and here we established the falling wedge. Okay, this was the first time when we could think that, okay, this might become a bullish signal, and this was actually the bottom, the 15,500. Now, we never expected to go this low, and the reason is simple. It's because in the previous bull trends, in the previous 1 second bull trends, we had the 20,000 peak, and nobody thought that we will go below the $20,000, and that's why everyone was surprised and thought that, okay, we are gonna go much lower to the 10K when we broke this important resistance or this important support. But let's remember, and this is what is the interesting part, we also had some black swan events. Some events which should not have happened, which affected the price, but as you can see, the price recovered. Now let's go back and check what happened after that. We broke through the 20,000, the 22,000. We confirmed the 20,000 again, which is obviously the peak of the previous all-time high. It proved to be an important and strong support now that we were over it, and now we are at 27,000. This means that we had a higher high from here, right? We had a correction here, but is a higher low, which is a trend pivot sign, but we couldn't be sure. We couldn't just say that, okay, we are now going to break through and we are going for the all-time high, because we were still below the 25,000, the 50-week moving average, the 200-week moving average, which just knocked back the price several times. However, this weekend we broke through the 25,000 at the second try, and let me just zoom in, because it's just beautiful and I love it. So as you can see, we had a huge rejection here, and then we had the breakthrough of the 26,000 something, and we went up to the 28,400, and now we are consolidating. It is not even a consolidation, okay? This is the daily only. This is not even the weekly chart. We are right now at a normal, healthy uptrend. But obviously, many people are still skeptical. So am I. So am I, because the macro situation in the traditional finance doesn't look good. We have banks collapsing, we have a lot of debt, we have money printing, which actually is happening obviously, but that needs to stop sometimes. And we don't understand why Bitcoin is pumping, why the assets prices are going up. And if I would just switch for 1 second to gold, you could see that gold, well, it is also pumping, okay? So Bitcoin went from a risk-on asset to a safety, okay, to a store of value. Blackrock also mentioned that Bitcoin just broke out of nowhere, okay, in the banking crisis, and now it is considered a store of value. And that says something, because BlackRock, well, you know who they are, but if you don't, I'll leave a link in the description. They are the biggest asset management company in the world, managing $8 trillion worth of assets. So if they say that Bitcoin is a store of value and they start buying it, we will have some happy days. Now, does this mean that we will go to the all-time high? We will just break all the resistances, and happy days from now for 2 years, we will all make a lot of money and that's all? No, it does not. Why? Well, we will have our ups and downs, obviously. We will have companies banning Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. We will have companies adopting Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. We will have regulations which are, in some ways, are favorable, in other ways will be devastating for us. But in the end, I do believe that we will have institutional buy-ins. We will have banks from 2024 who can have on their balance sheet Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies 2% of their total portfolio, which is so much. It is 10 times more than the actual market cap of the whole cryptocurrency industry. So you can understand why this is bullish for everyone, but we need to go through these storms. We need to survive these storms. However, if we don't break down below 25,000 again, then I think we will see some happy days. So what are the downsides? What are the, let's say, dangers of this trend pivot? Now, if we go back to the 25,000 here, that is still bullish, okay? If we see something like this, that will be a dream scenario, especially for me, because I will long the shit out of everything here. The problem will start when we see something like this, okay? This will be a bad one, because this could, for one, be a head and shoulders, okay? I hope it will not happen, but it is possible. But we need some kind of a black swan event. We need something very, very fuddy for this to happen. That would mean that this was only a fake out and we continue the downtrend, or the trend pivot was actually cancelled. And actually that's it, okay? If these two don't happen, this or this, then we are golden. We are good to go, okay? And the scenario which I'm looking forward to is actually this one, okay? It's this one, because I want this correction. I want this confirmation of the 25,000 support, and from there we can send it. Now, we still need to see what is going to happen on the 22nd of March, because we still have the FOMC meeting. We are still about to see what the Fed decides, how much will be the rate hike. However, they are very squeezed. Maybe they will not budge, and they will say, no, 0.25% as planned will go forward. I don't think that will crash Bitcoin. Right now, I think only a 0.5% increase would crash Bitcoin and the assets prices, and 0.5% is not something which the Fed can do at this moment, because they will crash lots of banks, and those banks, they already have problems with liquidity. They already are at the brink of bankruptcy. And just a funny thing, as you can see in this tweet, Justin Sun, just offered to buy out Credit Suisse and rename it to Sun Swiss Bank. And he said that he will drive the bank into the Web3. Now, if that would happen, that would be amazing and also very funny. But I don't think that will happen for the simple fact that $1.5 billion for one is I think is a small amount for Credit Suisse. Second, I don't think that Switzerland would let Justin Sun to buy out Credit Suisse, which is one of the biggest banks in Europe and obviously one of the biggest banks in Switzerland. So that's for today. Be happy about this. Watch the price action. Be careful on the 22nd of March. We will have huge volatilities. I personally will not long or short because it's just too risky. Nevertheless, I do see the light at the end of the tunnel and I think we are approaching it. The light is becoming bigger and bigger and we might see some sun. So yeah, this is what I was looking for the last 1.5 years, and I was just hoping that I can make this video as fast as possible. I can tell you this as soon as possible, and yeah, here we are. So if 25k holds, we are golden. Take care.